The House will come to order.
House committees and divisions continued their work this week ahead of the March 12th first committee deadline. On Tuesday, a proposal that would help rebuild areas of the Twin Cities that were damaged by last year's civil unrest was passed, as amended, by the House Capital Investment Committee. House File 728, sponsored by Committee Chair Fu Lee, would authorize the sale and issuance of $300 million in redevelopment appropriation bonds for areas of Minneapolis and St. Paul adversely affected by last summer's civil unrest.
We have to understand that this is an unprecedented and extraordinary situation, and the one-time use of appropriation bond in this matter provide us with a means to release a large amounts of funds to provide the needed assistance without putting the general fund ability to provide for other essential areas of our state budget in jeopardy.
Representative Lee's proposal passed 11-8 on a party line vote. Some of those opposed to the proposal cited the lack of public safety as a reason they couldn't support the bill.
We want you to rebuild, and we want these neighborhoods to come back even more vibrant than before. I wish I could support the bill today, but I don't think it is ready. First, Minneapolis and St. Paul need to address their public safety situation. Business owners need to have the assurance that this type of destruction will not happen again.
A recreational cannabis bill was approved by the House Commerce, Finance, and Policy Committee on Wednesday. Sponsored by House Majority Leader Ryan Winkler, House File 600, which would legalize recreational marijuana, was passed on a party line vote.
From multiple perspectives, from a health perspective, from a racial equity perspective, from a criminal justice reform perspective, from just being able to do a better job of regulating a product that can be used responsibly, it is time for Minnesota to change its cannabis laws.
House File 600 goes beyond just legalizing recreational marijuana. It would also create a new cannabis management board, establish taxes on adult use cannabis, and create grants to assist individuals entering into the legal cannabis market. The proposal would also amend certain marijuana-related criminal penalties and provide for expungement and resentencing of certain marijuana convictions. Republicans who voted against the proposal questioned how recreational marijuana would affect businesses and law enforcement.
I have a concern about legalizing another drug and putting that into the complexity of our workforce shortage that we already see across the state today. And I also have concern about legalizing this at a time when our primary focus, in my opinion, should be getting our businesses back fully open, getting our economy fully recovered from COVID, and supporting our businesses, large and small, in that effort.
On Thursday, House DFLers announced what they're calling driver's licenses for all legislation. Representative Aisha Gomez and other DFL members outlined their plan that would provide driver's licenses for undocumented immigrants.
Those without lawful status are part of our community. They are driving their kids to school. They are driving themselves to work. They're getting groceries in their cars. What we're saying with this effort is that these drivers should take a test, ensuring that they know that they know the rules of the road, that they should have insurance, and that they should have appropriate documentation to operate motor vehicles.
The proposal has been referred to the House Judiciary, Finance, and Civil Law Committee. Thursday's House floor session saw a proposal to provide funding for state emergencies fail to gain approval. For the second time in a week, a bill that would create the State Aid for Emergencies account and fund it with $35 million was discussed on the House floor but failed to pass the chamber. Sponsored by Representative Carlos Mariani, House File 445 would reimburse local law enforcement agencies after providing mutual aid during critical incidents, such as civil unrest. It also requires law enforcement agencies to adopt a public assembly response policy. The bill failed by a 72-62 vote, but was tabled to potentially be acted on at a later date. Several DFLers voted with Republicans in opposition of the bill. For more nonpartisan coverage of the Minnesota House of Representatives, check out our Session Daily work on the House website at house.mn/sessiondaily.